We need to stick to the status quo, which is men approaching women. Women should not be approaching men. I think men have lost the plot because they love to just use their excuses of, oh, it's not worth the reward, or we're like gonna come off creepy. Like, you gotta get over that, or else you're literally gonna be single forever, and we all know that you don't want to be single forever. I also think that it's like crazy because I think sometimes men just think that like one day like a girl is just gonna like, they're gonna snap their fingers and like a girl's just gonna like end up in their house, and then like that's the girl that they're gonna get married to. And it's like, it's not that easy, and it doesn't work that way. Like, you actually have to go out and do the work. You shouldn't be pushing 30 and like still not knowing what you want for the rest of your life.
Whoa, wait a minute. So women can reject men. Women can say, leave me alone. Women can say, I'm focusing on myself. Women can say, I don't need a relationship right now. But a man says, dating isn't worth it for me at the moment? And suddenly he's the problem? No, that's not consistency. That's frustration that the old script isn't working the way it used to. And this idea that every man is terrified to talk to women, stop it. Some men aren't scared. Some men looked at the market, looked at the risks, looked at the expectations, and said, I'm good. You don't have to agree.
I had a video go viral and I asked people, why do men not approach women anymore? What happened to those days when men used to approach women? A lot of men in the comments were saying that they felt like women have unrealistic expectations. They don't want regular men, that they only want people they see on TikTok, online, people who are 6 foot and above, that they just are not wanting what's out there. And you want to know what's so crazy? I started this matchmaking service where I matchmake Muslims together for free. And in this platform, people can say what type of partner they want. And let me tell you something right now. These people on the app are serious, they're intentional, and every response that I have seen has never mentioned someone's height. It doesn't even mention looks. All people are saying is, I want a man who loves Allah, someone who has goals, who has aspirations, who is a hard worker. No one said, I want a rich prince. I want someone who's 6 foot and above. Nobody has said that. Nobody has said that. And I've said this before, that people are getting their information from TikTok. We need to get off of social media and stop using this as our Google, because everybody that I'm meeting, everyone I'm seeing, all these accounts, nobody wants all these unrealistic expectations. Everyone's expectations are very realistic. To all the men that felt like they couldn't get a wife because women had unrealistic expectations, what's the excuse? Here's the link. What's the excuse now?
Wait, so because people on one app aren't asking for 6-foot millionaires, we're supposed to act like every dating complaint disappeared overnight? Come on now. That's not evidence. That's one corner of the internet. And let's talk about that "what's the excuse now" line. See, that's where the conversation changed. Because now we're not trying to understand men. We're trying to shame them. Those are two different things. Some men are making excuses. Sure. Some men need to improve themselves. Absolutely. But some men looked at the dating market, looked at the effort required, looked at the results they were getting, and made a business decision. You don't have to like their decision, but calling every concern an excuse doesn't magically make the concern disappear. That's not how reality works.
Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking desperate or awkward, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and can hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it. Comment approach for my comprehensive guide on how to master the cold approach like a natural.
Man, hold on. Did y'all catch that? Hot girls are waiting on it. Now that's a bold statement. Because last week, social media told us women don't want to be bothered. This week, they're waiting? Next week, it'll be something else. Listen, if you're a man and you want to approach women, do it. If you're respectful, socially aware, and can handle rejection, you'll be fine. But don't let anybody shame you into thinking you're broken because you're not running around introducing yourself to every woman you see. That's nonsense. Approach because you want to, not because somebody on TikTok said women are standing by the window waiting for a hero. The biggest flex isn't approaching women. The biggest flex is having enough confidence to choose when it's worth your effort and when it isn't.
You did to him what he would never have done to you. He doesn't want anything from you. He doesn't want any type of friendship. He doesn't want any kind of communication. He doesn't want anything. But he also does not wish you anything bad. He's going to carry on living his life and moving forward. But you cannot change the fact that you did something to him that he would never have done to you. He told you his darkest secrets and you took them and you ran with them. He told you what happened to him before. In other relationships, you did exactly the same, if not worse. He's not going to now sit there, have communication with you, try and build a relationship or try and do anything of the means. You hurt him again and again and again to a point that in the end of their relationship, he even stopped communicating, asking for attention or trying to make anything work. You did to him what he would never have done to you.
This is what people don't understand about men. When a man reaches his limit, he doesn't always explode. Sometimes he just quietly removes himself from the situation. No revenge, no drama, no long speech. Just a closed door and a lesson learned. And once he finds peace, he's not looking back.
I want to ask you a question. Why do you think in today's society guys don't approach girls anymore?
They're soft.
They
literally
are.
went soft. They're scared of rejection. And it's like, it's so mind-boggling to me how beta men have become. Like, they don't go after it in their careers. They don't go after it, like, in relationships anymore. And it's like, it's like men used to go to war.
Yeah.
Now they can't even, like, go up to a girl at a coffee shop or, like, the street. Like,
Yeah.
they want the girls to come to them. It's like,
That's not how it works.
backwards to me. Yeah.
Always fortune rewards the bold, and if you're not bold and you're not gonna go for it, then what are you doing?
No, facts.
So how would you bring that back? What movement would you build to bring guys back and go approach girls just on the streets and say hi?
Yeah. Well, the movement I'm building is like to girls to empower them to almost like reject that like energy to where it's like you should be making your own money and investing in yourself to where if a guy doesn't approach you, you're like turned off by it because you already do it yourself.
Very
so
true.
it's like I'm starting the movement of like the girls on the receiving end to like reject that energy in order to like get the guys in check themselves.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
With that,
Wait a minute. The plan is to reject men until they start approaching more? That sounds like trying to fix a problem by creating another problem. If a man is confident, he'll approach when he wants to. If he's not interested, no amount of shaming is going to change that. That's not how confidence works. That's how resentment starts.
The MGTOW guys ripped this one. Okay, so I had to look this up. MGTOW stands for Men Going Their Own Way. So apparently it's this online group of men that promote masculinity, hostility towards women, strong opposition towards feminism, and exaggerated misogyny. First of all, the only time I've ever been ripped was childbirth. TMI, I know, but you know. Second of all, this is sad. So what you're telling me is a bunch of men got together and formed a I Hate Girls Club? Like what you do when you're 7, 8 years old? So these men never grew up? Look, I don't hate all men. And I don't have followers that hate all men. We are cautious towards all men. And rightly so. Because statistics show that men are our biggest predators. And you would tell your daughter to be cautious towards men as well. But this woman-hating group that's so active on the internet trying to tear all of us women down, I don't think they understand that it's not tearing us down. It's only empowering us and bringing us together and supporting each other, because that's what women do. These men are mad that women have decentered men from our lives. Men are no longer the center of our lives anymore. We want equality. And how is that bad, friend? How is it bad to say, I want to be equal? I want to be a partner. So these men believe that feminism and sexism and women in general are responsible for destroying the Western life, the Western way of living. And we are. And it's about damn time. This group is no different than the KKK and white supremacists. When there are a group of people in society that are being oppressed and they fight back, change has to happen, friend. And it is, and I'm so proud of all the women that came before me and the women that are standing beside me, fighting for our freedom and our equality, and most importantly, our safety. I don't mean to get emotional. I just don't understand this kind of hate. I don't understand why you would not want equality for all. I don't understand why these men come onto women's pages and say such disgusting things and insults. What I do know is that hurt people hurt people. So every time a man comes on and tries to hurt me, what they're doing is screaming, I'm a hurt child and I need attention. And any attention is better than no attention. The effort that these people put into hating a whole gender, if you just took that effort and put it into love, self-awareness, self-love, your whole world would change.
Hold on. If women are free to decenter men from their lives, why are men not free to decenter dating from theirs? You can't celebrate independence on one side and shame it on the other. Either adults get to choose their priorities or they don't. The moment someone exercises a choice you don't like doesn't make them the villain.
Serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come approach me? Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you know, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women, because we don't want to do that, you know? This is just a pro tip, okay? Chime in.
I'm hearing a lot of instructions and not a lot of accountability. You made eye contact, felt attraction, wanted the conversation, and still did nothing. Then turned around and blamed the guy for doing exactly what you did. That's like standing at a bus stop, refusing to get on the bus, then getting mad the bus left. At some point, you gotta participate in your own dating life.
Hi guys, this is for 30-year-old women who are Christian and still single. I'll start by saying this. I turned 30 last year. I'm gonna be 31 this fall. I have never been asked out on a date in my life, and I mean that. Never. I've never been approached by a guy. I've never had a man show interest in me. And I would never have admitted to that a couple years ago. I was ashamed and embarrassed about that. I was like, oh, it's because I'm stupid maybe, or, you know, I'm not attractive, or all these things. Like, I thought it was a deficiency in me. But I have been hearing from other women the exact same thing, especially Christian women, where it's like, you know, no one, you know, I'm 27, I'm 28, I've never been asked out. And so I think there's a problem on both sides. I think that women get blamed a lot, where people will say, you know, you hoard yourself in your 20s and you know, you cared about your career and you did all these things to keep men away from you. And I think I never did any of that stuff. And I know a lot of other women who didn't do that stuff. And they're just, men aren't asking women out maybe. I don't know. I do put myself out there, and I know other women who put themselves out there. You know, we'll get all cute. We'll go to the tea shops. We're very open to having conversations with strangers. And, you know, we do a lot of things in hopes that someone will just walk up to us and say, hey, you know, here's my number or whatever. However that works, I don't know. And there's not a lot of men doing that. And I will make some more videos. I have stories and stuff I'd like to share. But anyways, I hope it's an encouragement to those who are like me, because I didn't see any videos like this a year ago, and that would have been really helpful. So that's why I'm putting this out there. Don't be embarrassed. Jesus loves you, and I don't know, maybe we can fix this or talk about how we can fix it. Bye.
Hold on. Nobody is asking you out in 2026? That's a bold statement in a world full of dating apps, social media, and constant interaction. Men didn't disappear. They adapted. And let's be real. If a man is interested, he will find a way. So when someone says no men are approaching, the real question is, which men are we talking about? Because dating didn't stop. It just got more selective on both sides.
Men and men only. Why don't y'all approach women anymore? And if it don't apply, let it fly. This is for the men who don't approach women.
I'm gonna be honest. This framing already tells me where this is going. Men and men only. Like we're a monolith. Men didn't all sit in a meeting and agree to retire from approaching women.
Why don't
some men are working, some are dating, some were choosing peace.
And if it don't apply,
it's
let
not
it
a
fly.
shutdown.
This is for the men who
it's a
don't
shift
approach
in
women.
priorities.
Men don't really approach women that much anymore for a lot of different reasons, I think. But personally, I want to be approached. I would love to meet someone in real life versus online. And as long as it's a respectful approach, I'm always going to be nice. Even if I'm not interested, I'm never going to be rude to the guy. But I think as women, we have to give a signal that we are interested before most men will feel like it's okay to like actually approach you. Personally, I'm not going to approach a man. That's not me, but I will make it clear that I'm interested. I will pretty much give him an open invitation to approach me through eye contact, smiling at him, physically like getting closer to him in whatever vicinity that we're in. And if he doesn't take that invitation, then I would just assume he's taken or he doesn't have the confidence to come up to me, which just means he's not for me. I'm gonna try harder to meet people in real life.
This is the part people don't want to admit. Men aren't mind readers. Eye contact is not a contract. Smiling is not consent to approach. So now you've got a system where women are saying, signal me first, and men are saying, don't assume I got it wrong or I'm creepy. That gap right there, that's the modern dating confusion.
I don't know if anyone else in their 30s can relate to this, but I feel like life just feels very heavy at the moment. I'm feeling very overwhelmed, confused. I just like don't know how to feel at the moment. I think I'm struggling with the fact that my life is feeling very like stagnant at the moment. I feel like my life, like nothing's changed that much or like progressed in like the last 4 years. I think it's hard when you're the age that like I am and you're seeing people around you like getting married or getting engaged or, you know, either having children or having more children. Like a lot of my friends now are like having their second child or pregnant with their second child or just got married, and like like, I'm not there. I want to be there, like, but I just feel like my life's stuck at the moment and I want it to progress, but I'm obviously not in a position where, like, that's gonna happen anytime soon. And, like, I think it probably sounds like I'm being really, like unsupportive, but like I'm still so happy for my friends, and like I can be like, basically, like, you can still be happy for other people that they're like having children and getting married and stuff, but you also can feel like really sad as well, like that's not happening for you. Like, I mean, I don't want to get married, like I think it's a scam. I think marriage is a scam, like it's not for me, like, but like I think
that most will be alone in the next 50 years. Yes. And the issue you get is all of these influencer women will come out saying they're so happy single. Most women are living paycheck to paycheck. They make about $35,000 a year, and a large majority are in debt. Women have so much debt. So what is going to happen to them in their old age? Women make poor decisions and keep expecting men to bail them out. But one day, men are going to stop bailing them out, and we are going to see a huge rise in the number of homeless women. People might think I'm mean, but I am just not in the business of selling dreams. I won't do it. I refuse. Like, if I don't think something is likely, if I know that the chance a woman has is if unmarried by 35, actually, if a woman is single at 30, not in a relationship, she's actually more likely to not get married than to get married. So at 30, if she has a boyfriend, her odds are a little bit better. But if she doesn't have a boyfriend, because on average, it takes men 3 years to marry you. So that's something as women we have to take into account. Yes, on average, it's going to take 3 years to
I've seen this exact moment in people's lives before. Late 20s, early 30s, suddenly everything feels like it's moving without them. Friends are getting married, having kids, building milestones. And one day it just hits. Why am I not there yet? But what usually comes later is perspective. Realizing some people rushed into milestones, and others built something slower, but more stable. Time has a way of reshuffling what actually matters.
Like, I just think that most men, the majority of men, are just so fucking boring. And they don't have any emotional depth. Like, nothing is going on, like, below that surface. They are so mundanely average and just boring. Yeah, just so boring. Like, speaking to most of them is just like speaking to a brick wall, you know. There's no emotional depth going on there, and I think that's why women struggle in so many relationships with men, because women have so much depth and so much to feel and think and give, and I think that's why most women do struggle in relationships with men, full stop, because they find it hard to connect with most men, because most men just don't have any depth at all, you know. And that's why most women will get more out of female friendships, relationships with other women, than they ever will do in friendships with men and romantic partnerships with men.
I saw a video earlier and it was talking about go get dressed up and go to your grocery store so that you can go find a man. And I don't know who else needs to hear this, but that's not how it works anymore. I don't know if that's how it ever worked. So if you want to go to the grocery store all dressed up and waste your time, then yeah. Or if you want to be picked up by a 70-year-old man, yeah, go to the grocery store dressed up, but that's not how dating works anymore. I think the gym is the best spot to meet men in real life, like masculine men, because masculine men work out. But so many girls want to do the yoga and Pilates. There's no men there. So like maybe do that every once in a while. I don't know, you need to go in the weight section. That's where they are. Weight section in mornings. You have to go in the morning. I don't know why, but like the good ones are in the morning. And I know a lot of girls don't want to go in the weight section because they're intimidated of it. Okay, men like that. They like when you look a little, you know, like a non-know-it-all. They enjoy that. So just walk around the gym. Like seriously, walk around the gym, pick like 3 machines and then go on the treadmill. But then go there every day in the morning, same time. They'll make their way over. They really will.
Let's separate emotion from analysis here. Calling an entire gender boring is already a sweeping generalization, not a real evaluation. What she's actually describing is compatibility mismatch, not emotional absence in men as a group. Men and women often express depth differently. Men tend to show it through action, problem solving, and purpose, rather than verbal emotional expression. So if someone is only measuring depth by emotional verbosity, they're going to misread a lot of men.